Alright guys, we are back on this golf cart again. This time we're going to be installing the 412 to 6.8 volt conversion, this 06 club car. And here is the battery conversion kit. I have it all scattered out on this back seat kit here. See, these back seat flip down kits come in really handy to be a workplace for everything. It's really nice. This kit comes with the battery cables, comes with all the hold downs and rods. There's a couple of brackets there. Got some hardware, and then you have your two single battery the single battery trays, and then you have your two battery trays. This will hold two, this will hold two, and then each of these will hold one. Let's get this started. I wanted to see what was going to be the easiest method to get the old battery cage out. And what I went ahead and did was I took the grinder and I cut the one bracket here in half, as you can see how it's slotted right up the middle there. And it basically came out real quick with the whack of a hammer. And it was much easier than what the directions say to do, which is to take a pneumatic chisel, which I know most people don't have pneumatic chisels, so that's probably not going to be an option for you. I was working with a dead blow hammer and this chisel here, which was taking way too long and it was a little bit too much work. So I just took the angle grinder, which you can also do with the Sawzall. You could probably do the same thing with a jigsaw with the metal blade in it, since it's only aluminum. It's not really that hard to cut. The goal is to basically get this one out, this center one out, and this one out here. And that's where the new battery tray will lay in. And then you also have to take out these things here, this one and this one. There's those two there, and then there's also two more on this side you have to remove. And then everything will lay in place, we'll bolt it in, and basically be ready to go. This is going to be a pretty simple project. So what I want to work on first is I want to get the rest of the center crap out. I'm going to hit it with the hammer. See, maybe, oh, you know what, that's a better idea. That's one way of doing it. Apologize for the noise. Since this worked so well last time, we're gonna do it again. Boom. And then what I do is I'm going to jump on the cart. This might just break off without, hope it doesn't break that. Now, all that's doing is twisting this. There we go. It doesn't take a lot once you get it up in the air. This one's going to be a little tougher. Trying to keep you in shot here, guys. It's hard. This one is proving to be quite difficult. I know what I could do. Basically just hit this. It's tearing, it's just not tearing easily. That one broke off nicely. Let's see if I can. There we go. Sometimes a little brute force is all you need. The main battery cage is out of the way, and that's what we need. And then you drop that in. Stick this away. we're gonna put this in here. That. There we go, because we were interfering with the brake cables. We don't want to do that. Alright, now you can see how that works. Drill bit's a little weak. Typically when you're drilling holes, you want to drill a pilot. Especially with dealing with metal. You don't need a flat washer on the backside. That one was a little funky on this cart. Okay, tighten them till they stop. The center frame is done. Now we can move on to breaking off the side pieces and getting those smaller cages installed. Alright, so these things break off fairly easily. I just broke one off without any effort. You get a piece of flat bar of some sort. And just, yeah, that's easy enough. This cart looks like it had a little bit of a collision at one point in its life. There we go. Alright, so now we'll drill out those four, bolt this one in, do the same thing to the other side. I use this as my placeholder. The rest of these drilled out. Sometimes you gotta modify it a little bit. Ow. Okay, there we go. I've decided that I'm going to install and mount this voltage reducer, which is VOLT-2000, basically right here on the back side of the battery cage, because it'll be well out of the way, out of the water. Even though it's sealed, at least back here it'll be kind of protected. So that's where we're going to install it. Now the problem is I can't get my drill in there. I can't see what I'm drilling without taking the tire off, jacking the cart up, and even still I wouldn't be able to get my drill in there. So I'm going to show you a little trick. So we're going to go ahead and use the original box it came in. As you can see, the lid is much bigger than this. So let me cut this out. Alright, so now I have just the lid. You can use either side. I'm going to use the white side. I'm going to line up the edge of the voltage reducer to the edge of the cardboard with a little bit of room, okay? And then I'm basically going to fill the holes in. Get some marker here. I know this one on this side is a little tricky, but it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact. Here's the end Here's the end. We know what this side is. So it's easier to work with this than it is the voltage reducer. So we know that this end here faces and rides along the inside edge of this lip here. Okay, on the back side, so it butts up against that, just like that. The point is, you want to get that edge to line up even with the edge of this, so that way you know where to drill your holes. I'm going to go a little lower. Okay, marked one. Now I'll drill it all the way through. It'll save you from trying to measure and guess, because we're mounting this with rivets. I just want to make sure my spacing's good. Okay, it looks like my spacing's good. Okay, everything lines up good on the back side. I can see right through the top holes. We can't do anything about the bottom. All right, now what I'll be using is a 3/16 diameter with a 1/2 inch grip rivet. It's an aluminum rivet. I want the wires coming out this way so I can keep all my wiring together. Insert that there. Insert the voltage reducer. Okay. It's biting now. There we go. Rotate it into place. Insert my second rivet. It's catching perfectly on that. There we go. That's actually nice and firm in place. Don't have to worry about screws and bolts backing out. These rivets are really strong. I use them for many things, and I've never had any fail. So I dropped one battery in just to kind of get a feel for how it's going to fit. Now we have to drill the holes for our battery hold down brackets. This is pretty straightforward. We're going to start on that side over there. Basically have to measure and find the center, but I'm going to eyeball it. 3/8 holes. All right, so I got the battery hold down rods in place. You have to install them before you install the battery, otherwise you won't get them to bend in the right direction. I'm also going to be reusing the original 12-volt battery tie down, two of them, one for this battery and one for the outer battery on that side. The diagram says to put the 12-volt on this side, on the passenger side, towards the front of the golf cart, but my wire is not going to quite reach, so I'm going to reverse it and rewire it in my own way, using the wires that are included in the kit. So we're going to put the positive terminal back here, swing it in place. I'm going to take the rod, I'm going to slip in the rod here. A washer. Washers are optional. I like to use them because I feel they give them a little bit better grip. Install the nut. Okay. Have to loosen this one up a little bit. There we go. All right, and then for this, I'm going to use a 9/16 socket. I also have a 1/2 inch socket for my battery terminals. There, red lead from that. I'm going to put a ring terminal on this. This is from our voltage reducer, and we're going to tie it in as well. probably get away with a smaller connector, but I'd rather use a larger one when able. Okay. We also have to hook up our charger, which we can wrap around this way. Flat washer. This way, as you tighten this down, it won't spin the fitting below it. Okay. I'm going to remove the negative battery terminal cover, or bolt. Alright, so after a little bit of farting around here with this kit, I've come to the determination that the mounting holes that are here built in, that are designed to take these hold down rods, are in the wrong location. They should be where these green lines are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drill new holes and be done with it. Okay. Tip that one out. That one out. There we go. Okay. Flat washer. Flat washer. Nice and tight. Okay. And as we go forward here, we'll keep adding a battery. Nothing else that we have to add to these. These are pretty straightforward. Okay. We can use this to this, so we have a little bit of separation here between the vents. Start getting into tight zones, this is where the ratchet comes in handy. Give you nice and tight. Sometimes you can't. I know those are good, so. Alright, there we go. There's 3 batteries. Now let's get the next 2 done. Alright, so same thing here. We got to drill new holes. Time to sharpen our drill bit. Flip this up, flip that up. And we'll just pre-drill. Just that way it's smooth, no issues. I have to remove this battery here so I could drill out the holes for the mounts, the tie downs. that off. So we'll go from here to positive. Okay, tighten this one up. It's not the cleanest way of doing it, but this cart also wasn't designed for 6 8-volt batteries. It was designed for 4 12-volt batteries, and we're kind of making them fit. So I'm going to unhook this wire. Time for first gear. Battery's almost dead. Drop. Rods are in place. We can now drop our final battery into the cart. And at the same time, crush all the cables. Okay. It's in. Here's our leads for the light kit, which are going to get connected to the voltage reducer. Here's our wires for the voltage reducer. I'm going to hook up the golf cart connection. Hopefully it doesn't. Nope, no smoke, no flames. We're good. So trim this off here. Strip this back. Slip the ring terminal over. Okay. Hook up our light kit negative. Start that nut so it doesn't fling off. Before I connect the battery and close the circuit on this gig, make sure you're in tow, first of all. The sense wire we're going to tie into the key switch, but we'll do that last. The first thing I want to do is I want to connect our 12-volt hot side here. I'm going to cut this ring terminal off for our light kit. I'm going to strip these wires back. We'll do this part first since we're here. I'll get a butt connector. And also do the ground while I'm here. Okay, squeeze tight. Positive. Twist them together. Slip them in the green. Okay, there's that. So I cut the hoop off the ground for the light kit. Now I'll take these, I'll twist them together just like I did for the plus. Stick them in there. Now the light kit itself is also fused, just as the voltage reducer itself is fused. Okay, so that's basically that. And for the time being, I'm going to just leave them right there. You may get a small spark from this when you first touch it together, like that. That's the capacitors charging in the voltage reducer. That's normal. Don't freak out, don't panic. Alright, so our batteries are connected. It was originally designed for 12-volt batteries. It's now capable of operating on 6 8-volt batteries, which will give it a little bit longer runtime. Well, I say a little bit, but it'll give it quite a bit more runtime. It will be easier to get batteries for it. They won't be as expensive as the 12-volt batteries are. The batteries are new. They're June of 17 batteries, and they've never been installed in a golf cart before. I bought them last year as new old stock. So they're brand new. They're going to get a good charge cycle on them now. All right, so now that we're done with the battery stuff, we're going to spray down all of our battery posts with a battery post protectant. And also the rods too. We're gonna make sure they're all, because this will help the corrosion stay at a minimum. It's not gonna guarantee it, but it does help for sure. It's something I do on every cart. All right, so now that we're done with the electrical side, as far as everything under the seat, we're done with the controller area under the back seat. We can put the front seat on now, and all we have to do is connect the wire from the voltage reducer to the key switch, our control wire. All right, now I gotta get this cover off here. It's real easy. Pop those covers off. Loosen. You don't necessarily have to remove these completely. Now that we've gained access to the back of our dashboard here, I'll get our voltmeter and we're going to show you which one you have to hook to. Use the charger socket and plug it into the negative posts. So there's 36 volts there, it's off. So we know that's not the switch side. So we have nothing, we have power. We have nothing, we have power. So we'll run a wire from this screw terminal here, which has the purple wire. Screwdriver. Nothing fancy here, just undo it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ring terminal, crimp it on, take the screw that we removed, run both of these ring terminals through it, get started by hand, get it lined up where you want it, and then this is when you can just tighten it down. Okay, now it's nice and tight, and then I can route this through. I can follow the light kit wiring. I just put the cart in tow, so now I can return the dashboard. Now all we have to do is just hook it up underneath the cart, zip tie it up, and we're done. See, here's the front. This one here comes off the wire we just pulled. Here is our new wire. You can see it's very similar in color. Not that it matters, but yeah, similar in color. Snake it in there. Keep it loose. I always want to leave a little bit of slack too. This way, if you ever have to take the dashboard out for any reason, you won't have to worry about fighting with not having enough. Crimp. I'm gonna load it in and crimp it. Okay. Pull the switch, nothing happens. Turn the switch on. Has to be in run. So I turn the key off, light shut off. Key on, lights on. And then it also works off the headlight switch as well. All right, guys, this cart is done. I just gotta clean up my crap here, put everything away, and then once the weather breaks and gets a little nicer, we'll be able to get this back outside and wash it. Take it for a quick road test. So until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like my channel, be sure to like the video and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.